that is also why only a few % of the people really achieve extraordinary results, right? If you want to be a highly successful student, then you are not going to be the norm. So you also can't act like everyone else does. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm super excited because I want to talk about mindset for students. So if you guys have been watching a few of my videos, then you may or may not know that I'm an absolute personal development addict. I started doing personal development 2.5 years ago, and since then it has really helped me in all areas of my life, but specifically as well, me being a student in university. So in this video, I want to share with you the ways in which highly successful students think differently, and I really want to share with you a few of my best success mindset tips. And those mindset tips are really gonna help you in so many different areas of your life, obviously, starting with getting better grades in university, managing your money better, making friends, getting more motivated to actually study and do the work, figure out what you actually want in life, like what career do you want. And I'm obviously not saying that I'm like a super highly successful student and that I know it all and I know everything better. I'm literally just sharing what works for me. Okay, so before we get started, I do want to explain to you first what mindset actually means, and maybe that already gives you a few aha moments when you kind of understand how your mindset works, how it's created, and how you can change it. A success mindset is not something that people are born with. I don't believe that some students are just naturally more talented and naturally better. I do believe that you can always take responsibility and you can always change and shift into a more successful student, and that starts with your mindset. And honestly, one of my biggest pet peeves ever is when people say, that's just the way I am, or, well, obviously you are better at this because you are just like this, blah, blah, blah. If you understand how mindset works, then you're gonna see that it is all your responsibility. That is really what highly successful students do. They take responsibility and they, change themselves to then better achieve their goals. So what is mindset? Mindset is how your mind is set in certain areas of your life. And how your mind is set towards certain things is obviously influenced by your childhood. It's influenced by your parents, by your friends, just generally by your environment, right? Even like your culture, who you follow on social media, your colleagues, really anything, right? Like your mindset is created by your external environment. That is why it's so important that we are aware of that, right? And once we change our external environment, once we change what we consume, our mindset changes as well. And here's the most important thing. Whether your mindset is positive or negative towards something, that determines your level of success, motivation, discipline, confidence. Those are all the important things that you need to succeed as a student, right? But we often forget that, right? We always think about the external stuff, but we don't go inside. We don't start working from the inside out, right? How your mind is set on certain things is made up of your beliefs, right? Like, what do you believe about those certain areas in your life, depending on how your mind is set on those things. Beliefs can be positive or negative. And if it's a negative belief, I often call them negative limiting beliefs. A limiting belief that is limiting you in a negative way, right? It's limiting your reality, it's limiting how you perceive things. Let's take an exam as an example, right? Who do you think of two people is going to be more successful in an exam? There's this one person who has a positive belief around exams. They have a positive mindset. So they say, for example, oh yeah, exams are all right. I'm much better at exams than courseworks. Exams are totally fine. Like, that subject, I have good grades. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. But then there could also be another student who has a more negative mindset, who has negative limiting beliefs about exams because maybe they have failed an exam in the past, or their parents put a lot of pressure on them to receive certain grades. Oh my god, I'm so stressed about exams. I always have a blackout about exams. I hate exams. They're always so hard. I always get so nervous and stressed. I'm afraid I will forget everything. Who do you think is gonna be better in the exam? Like, just thinking of those two mindsets, what do you think, what mindset is more helpful to get a good grade in an exam. And if you could choose which mindset you want to have, which one would you choose? You would obviously choose the positive one, right? And that is what mindset work is all about, right? It's about realizing, okay, where do I have negative limiting beliefs that are actually making the end result much harder to achieve, right? Because you have to do the exam anyway, right? So you might as well have a positive mindset around it. And mindset work really helps you to recognize your negative limiting beliefs and shift them into positive, empowering beliefs that are actually going to help you achieve your goals. And really in the educational system, this is never talked about. But the thing is that if we don't change our mindset, if we don't change the internal world, we are always going to fall back into those negative habits, right? I mean, have you ever done something over and over again, although you knew that it wouldn't benefit you? Like, for example, leaving coursework until the last minute. How often have you done that? Right? And in the moment you're like, oh my God, I'm never gonna do this again. But then, because you are not changing the mindset that is actually causing the action, you're gonna do it over and over again, right? So we have to start internally to change things. Okay, I really hope that made sense. I know this was a super long intro. Now I do have, how many? I have 6 actionable tips for you guys now on how you can use the mindset of highly successful students to become a better student. And obviously, if you're not an uni anymore, that also totally relates to you. So I really hope that this is helpful. Okay, so the first mindset tip that I have for you guys is to be aware of how you speak to yourself. Right? So we just talked about what is a positive, what's a negative belief. You have to first become aware of those beliefs. And often those beliefs are literally what you tell yourself, right? Oh my God, I'm so stressed, this is gonna be horrendous, I'm gonna fail this is gonna be awful, this is so hard, I'm so stressed, I'm broke. You know, all of those things, they're your beliefs, right? And how you speak to yourself matters. It's how you program your mind, right? What you repeat, you store. What you repeat, you do. Awareness is key, because when you notice your thoughts, you realize, wow, I'm actually noticing my thoughts, which means that the thoughts are not me. I can control my thoughts, because if your thoughts were you, you wouldn't know that you're thinking them. Does it make sense? I know it's probably like, at least like when I first learned that, I was like, holy cow, my whole life just changed. What I obviously then want you to do is to start shifting them as well, because how your mind works is your brain always wants to go the shortest way. Right now, because your mind is still wired from so many years of negative thinking, maybe, and from your past, your childhood, your friends maybe around you. So if you see this exam date, obviously your instinct is, oh my gosh, this is gonna be hard. With repetition and with the awareness, you can then slowly start shifting them into more positive thoughts. So actually asking yourself, okay, is this true right now? Does this have to be hard? Or am I making it hard for myself? What is actually true? Can I make this easier for myself? What's then gonna happen is the more and more you think those positive thoughts, the more your brain is gonna change those connections between the reality and then what you're thinking, if that makes sense. And the more you're gonna repeat this, it's gonna get easier and easier to make this connection for your brain, right? But the first step is really awareness. Become aware and also question your thoughts. Question is, okay, is this actually something that maybe my parents have told me or a friend has told me? Or is this actually what I would choose to think? Again, think, like you have to go into this exam. So what do you want to think? What would be easier for you to think? Second tip, and this is for everyone who really lacks motivation to study, to do their coursework, to do anything. Focus on your why, right? So highly successful students always have a why, and that is why they're so motivated, right? They're driven, they have this internal drive to do things. It's not just that grades motivate them or their parents motivate them. They have this internal drive, this internal ambition. And if you don't have that, then I would question why you are doing what you're doing. If you don't want to study, why are you at university? Honestly, I know this is like harsh right now, but I sometimes think when people are so unmotivated, I'm like, this is your choice. You are here by choice. Like you could go save a lot of money and do something else with your life. You don't have to be here. And I do understand that sometimes, literally, I 100% get that sometimes what you have to do in uni doesn't really have to do with what you actually want to do in your career, and you just need a degree to then get the job, right? But still, I want you to focus on the end result. Why do you have to do this coursework? Well, to, go into the next year, and then to go into the next year, and then graduate, and then get the job that you want to have. If you can't be motivated, visualize your end goal. Visualize you graduating or you having this amazing job. If you cannot find the motivation, then why are you doing what you're doing? Like, why? The third tip that I have for you guys that highly successful students do is that they are curious and they question things. And they work smart and not hard. And they question, how can I make this easier for myself? This is something that I have specifically learned over the past 1 or 2 years. Just because that's how people do things doesn't mean it's the right way to do it. It's not the right way for you to do it. I truly believe, although so many people tell me, oh yeah, well, I always leave it to the last minute because I need the pressure to actually do something. So I work best under pressure. So I leave the coursework until the night before. And I'm like, really? Have you ever tried really good time management and project management? And have you ever even tried that? Seriously tried that? Because if they would have, they maybe wouldn't say that, right? So really always question, okay, how can I make this easier for myself? And this includes, for example, really knowing when is your most productive time of the day to do something. For me, that's always in the morning, right? So when I do my coursework, in the mornings from 8 till 12, I'm gonna write my coursework and nothing else is gonna happen then, because I know that if I do those 4 hours, I'm gonna get much better results than if I spend 4 hours in the afternoon and my results won't be as great. What smart students also do is that they eliminate distractions because they know that they have to work productively and efficiently, because that's gonna make the work easier for them. Stay in the flow. So if you're in uni, then do uni work and don't procrastinate by talking to your friends for 2 hours. Just get the work done, because that's gonna make life easier for you in the long run. And that's what smart students do. They think, okay, what's the long-term result of this? Smart students, they know exactly what they get graded on. And they know from the beginning of the module, what's the assignment? What am I gonna get graded on? What do I have to do? What are they expecting? And then they listen for those things and they make notes and they do all of the things, right? From the beginning, they always go the smart way and not the hard way. And the thing is as well, if you want to have extraordinary results, if you want to be a highly successful student, you cannot act like everyone else. You cannot do the action of mediocre people and then expect better results. It's just not gonna happen, right? So you have to question the norm. You even sometimes have to question what your lecturer is telling you, right? Think, The fourth tip that I have for you, the fourth piece of advice is highly successful students take responsibility for their results. And results, I mean their grades, what job they're gonna get, or what work they're gonna do, or what they get from a module. They take responsibility for that. And trust me on this, I have not done this for a long time. I was always, blaming it on the teachers and that the modules aren't great. But then I shifted and I was like, well, I clearly don't think this course is good enough, but am I gonna quit it? No, I'm not gonna quit it. Okay, so what am I gonna do about it, right? And that's why I started, doing freelancing. That's why I started my own business. That's why I'm creating so much content, right? Because it really also benefits me as, a marketing professional. I mean, I study PR, right? So it's part of my knowledge. But I'm not depending on lecturers. Wow, that's such a complicated word. I'm not depending on uni to teach me that, really. I honestly think that the skills that make me employable has nothing to do with what I learned in uni. Really, honestly, no, it doesn't. And even if you get a bad grade, you can always blame it on a teacher, but is that actually gonna help you? Is that actually gonna get you a better grade next time? Hell no, it's not. No, you have to look for the mistake within you. And yes, it's not always your fault, but is that gonna change anything? It's not, right? So take responsibility. Highly successful students don't blame other people. They work on themselves, right? Highly successful people in general don't point the finger. They're working on themselves. They're using that time to improve themselves. The fifth tip that I have for you, this is super important as well. Highly successful students always know where they're going. They always know the end result, the long-term goal. So this is something that I think is super important to know when you want to prioritize your life. I know that I won't do a corporate job after my graduation. I will not take a 9-to-5. This is not an option for me. And that is also why, to be honest, I don't join clubs, I don't join societies, I don't take voluntary positions anymore because I think that it will make my CV better. Why? Because I'm not planning to use my CV to get into a corporate job. I'm going to uni to improve the knowledge I need for my own personal brand, for working with my clients, for doing different remote positions. I'm going to uni because I value the knowledge, because I want to network, because, it's a really nice experience, obviously, abroad. I know what lectures are gonna benefit me. I know the lectures I need to go to get a good grade in an assignment. And if I am not interested in the topic, and if it's not helping me for the assignment, I'm not gonna go to that lecture, because my time is much better spent working on my business, creating content for my personal brand, working with clients, getting new clients, all of the things, because that's my long-term goal. However, if you have a different long-term goal, if you want to get into this amazing job position, and you need certain voluntary experiences for that or anything, then do that. Focus on that, right? You have to know your long-term goal. Why are you going to uni, right? What do you want to do after? I was talking to a friend and she was like, well, I actually don't really care about grades. I just want my final degree and that's all. Right, perfect, that's amazing, good for her, good that she knows that, and now she can structure her life according to that, right? But what's the basis for that as well is you have to have the courage to not be like everyone else, right? You have to have the courage to question things and to say, good for you that you do this voluntary position. I don't, because that's not my goal. Right? You have to, that demands confidence. Because that also, like, saying no to things always demands you knowing, what you want to say yes to. Okay, and then the sixth and final tip, and this is probably one of the most important ones, is to surround yourself with other highly successful students. Obviously, this is so important, right? This is so important. So you really are who you surround yourself with. And I sometimes find it's kind of sad that, skipping uni or leaving things to last minute, doing all-nighters, that it's like a normal thing to do and that people bond over that. I'm like, why? Like, why are you proud of that? And I am a proud nerd. I'm a proud, ambitious student. I don't really care about the party people in my course, right? And I only surround myself with people who are also like me, who think like me. Like, why would I surround myself with those party people? Like, doesn't make sense, right? Are they improving my mindset? Are they moving me to the positive mindset? You really have to know what you want, and then you have to be proud of the person you have to become to get there. And why I'm proud to be a nerd or an ambitious person, right? A personal development junkie is because this is the person I have to be to reach my goals, right? And to create the life that I want. And if that means you can't go out every week, right? Or on the weekends, because you'd rather sit at home building your website or working on freelance projects, which, hello, welcome to my life. And that's the way it is, right? But does this sense of belonging to the wrong people, is that really worth sacrificing your goals? It is not. You should rather be alone than be surrounded by the wrong people, like, honestly. And I get that. It needs some guts, it needs some confidence, it needs some courage to go against the norm. But that is also why only a few % of the people really achieve extraordinary results, right? If you want to be a highly successful student, then you are not going to be the norm. So you also can't act like everyone else does. If this resonated with you and you want me to support you in achieving your goals, then please check out the description down below, because I am currently looking for 3 women to coach pro bono for my life coaching practice, because I'm currently getting certified as a life and transformational coach, and I'm looking for 3 incredible women who want to crush their goals, who want to go after their dreams, just someone who I can support in their journey. So if you want to learn learn more about that, then feel free to click the link down below. This will lead you to like a little application form where you can write down your goals, and I can read through it and see if we would resonate with each other, because obviously I'm just limiting it to 3 women who will get the coaching for free, and so I'm only choosing the ones who are truly committed and who I think they will benefit from the coaching. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you got any aha moments from it, please comment down below, and if it really helped you, and also feel free to share this with a friend or with another student, with a classmate who you think would benefit from this video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!